Tonight we're getting a look at the St. Paul Police Chief from a whole new perspective. Todd Axtell is leaving his post in June after 33 years with the department.
In his first on-camera interview since announcing his retirement, the chief opened up in a way he hasn't before. It's a conversation with Susan Elizabeth Littlefield you'll only see on WCCO.
The history goes deep in St. Paul. It cuts deep, too. The Rondo neighborhood was destroyed in 1964, ousting black homeowners to make way for an interstate. Rondo is where Chief Todd Axtell wanted to meet for our interview at the Golden Thyme Cafe, where he's a regular.
Thank you, sir.
It was there that we grabbed coffee, and he spilled the tea.
Cheers.
Cheers.
About the 33-year career he's leaving behind.
It's kind of bittersweet, but it's nice to share some of my stories.
It's been bittersweet from the start. The very day he got his dream job, he got a terrible call. Frank Baker, who was minding his own business, making a phone call, was attacked by a canine, then beaten by an officer.
And I remember, again, this being the first day at the job and then feeling terrible for what happened to this human being.
After investigating, the chief said he made some swift changes.
Kicks and strikes are down significantly, 60+%. We're in the right direction here in St. Paul. Everything that we do should be designed to make deposits into the bank of trust with our community. And it can take one bad incident to happen to take your entire bank account.
And there's no better example of that than what happened one city over in May of 2020.
When you saw the video of George Floyd being killed, how did that fall on you?
One of the worst days of my career when I saw that video. It was gut-wrenching. And as a human, it really pissed me off. And I remember clearly telling our department and any department across the country that would listen that if you see this video and in any way, shape, or form believe that that is a reasonable use of force, please get a hold of me because you can turn your badge in.
Since the chief has been in office, 4 people have died in the hands of officers. He says each of those cases met protocol. That's
the most tragic, heart-wrenching call that I get as a chief of police.
What do you think could be done so that police kill fewer people?
We have focused on de-escalation training, crisis intervention training. A person who wants to become a police officer has to show me as the chief that they have a heart of a guardian first and foremost. And not
a bully?
Not the mentality of wanting to be a warrior all of the time.
And it's resulted in recruiting the most diverse classes in department history.
That's been one of the most fulfilling parts of my time as chief.
A unifying vision that's being well received. At Golden Thyme,
that overall support of respect in the community, Todd adhered to that solidly, and that is so appreciative.
And echoed over at the Hmong market, too.
It is about 60 Hmong police officers today in the cities.
What does that mean to you?
It is great. It is great.
And when he does leave, Chief Todd Axtell won't be going far.
I'm going to stay here in St. Paul. This is my town. This is my city. I'm going to continue to live here. You don't have to be a police chief to make the world better.
In St. Paul, Susan Elizabeth Littlefield, WCCO 4 News.
Chief Axtell and his assistant chief, who is also retiring, plan to start a law enforcement consulting company. Tomorrow night at 6, Chief Axtell talks about the next big challenge for St. Paul and answers a question that brings him to tears.